Okay, and yeah, that was Mushroom Head, Solitaire, Unravelling. I have to apologise for people. Condemned. Yes, that was a fucking highlight. Like that's the thing. No, don't apologise. That's exactly like. That's probably what they wanted. They were like, oh yeah, they're gonna be screaming condemned when they get back home, when they watch this on the MTVs. But this is what I mean about music video preservation. Like, that's a really good video that's been kind of butchered, because I'm pretty sure the video ends early as well. There's like an extra line where like your man goes like strength by strength at the end, and we have to rely on this fan making like weird fucking staticky intros.
This video, like, it says high quality, but that was, when was that? Like 2009.
2009.
Okay. High quality for 2009. But no, this video...
Yeah, on its own merits, the video's really weird and interesting, as well as being brilliantly generically edgy in some places.
Like, I like the edginess of it, and also... But, like, there's a lot of, like, good visuals in it. Like, I think the beginning of it is really good. And I just like the beginning of this song. Like, I like the whammy bar used on the guitar.
Yes.
As they're kind of, like, building up to the song. Although,
definitely.
I think... I'm trying to look up the dude's name. I should really be more prepared for this. Is it Jason Popson?
Yes.
Like, the guy that did the rapping, or like the rough
the growling.
vocals, not the operatic vocals. I thought his sort of thing was like in the song kind of like took away from it. Like, honestly, I would like to see like a version of this song redone just with the operatic vocals. I think that would be like, I don't know.
I get what you're saying. I mean, it's like a lot of things, it's definitely of its time. I kind of like it. I don't know if it would be the same without the fucking shouty, gruff guy.
It probably wouldn't. Like,
an operatic version would be interesting, though. Like, an unplugged version of this song. The fucking Mushroom Head acoustic mix.
But no, I like the operatic versions. I guess it's just because I like the operatic versions the most. And I just think it's like the most striking of it. I think we were talking about it while we were watching the video, that a lot of people associate Mushroom Head and Slipknot a lot. But if you listen to a song like this and then listen to something like, I don't know, People Equal Shit or Can Spit It Out by Slipknot, it sounds totally different, especially when you hear the lead singer, the actual singer of this band, sing.
Yeah.
And that sort of, like, he's just a really good vocalist.
It is. And I like the contrast. Like, that's the thing I like. I like the contrast between the sort of what would be expected, the sort of growly, shouty singer, and because I thought the operatic stuff was ridiculous when I was a kid, and then it sort of grew on me like, no, this fits in.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really good contrast, and like you said, it at certain bits the video and the song are like perfectly meshed to each other. Like, there was the intro that you were talking about. Another standout bit is when the organ starts. The guy with the electric mask.
Yeah, and he's like, dun, 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 dun. Yeah. That part was really good.
Because you could tell they planned that shot perfectly with the fucking crane fucking starting looking down, and then it comes down and sort of meets him head on. Like, yeah, that bit's really nice, and the visuals are really well done. They're also very heavy-handed from a metaphorical standpoint, like the aforementioned wheel that spells out condemned, just in case you don't get what the messaging here. Like, do you get it?
That's almost every, like, OO's thing, though.
Oh,
I
God,
think.
yeah.
Like the, oh, Lord, if we get into something like, if you, like, look at some of the movies and shit from that era, it's kind of like that, too. But, like, in general, it was well shot, I think.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. It's interesting. When it's not being ridiculously heavy-handed, like, it just looks nice. Also, I liked the thing with the drummer, because each of the instruments, like, gets its own thing to do. Like, the fucking drummer is sitting in a pile of dust and is, like, kicking up dust.
I like the lead singer's little pipe thing that he's got going, where he's singing into it, and then it's like has that's very like 80s style sort of, like, I don't know, for some reason it reminds me of shit like The Dark Crystal for some reason. Like that's the thing that's coming to my head out of nowhere. But like sort of that like dark visuals, very atmospheric, very I don't know. Like
no, I see what you point. It harkens back to the days, because that's a good point actually. It harkens back to the days of physical set design, when like you had interesting physical sets for like fantasy movies or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a different style, but when you said that, it actually kind of reminds me of the film Brazil. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can totally see that. In as
much as there's interesting, like, there's and Brazil has a big thing about pipes as well, which even though, like, the pipes in this one are more organic, or not organic, but sort of less mechanical, less steel and cold, but there's definitely, like, a sort of overlay there of sort of pipes and interesting physical set design.
Yeah, now that you say Brazil, I'm thinking of Dark City, and I'm like, okay, fuck. Like we're just
see that's what I've never seen, but there's definitely because definitely videos, because this was, I believe the video was early 2000. I think the song was released before the band was big, or got a major label signing, I should say.
This video I think was released on the second or third album. They were fairly big at the time, and I say fairly big. They were never as big as Slipknot. Like, that's the only like. You know, people, like, go back and forth, like, Mushroom Head, like, and I'm not trying to shit on, like, Mushroom Head fans, but it was never as big as Slipknot. Slipknot just had a bigger appeal.
I mean, that's just a statement of fact, really. Like, Slipknot, I hesitate to call Slipknot mainstream, but they did get a lot of mainstream attention.
Yeah, well...
Like, they got songs played on standard MTV, put it that way.
Like,
rarely,
the thing
but
is,
it happened.
Like... Slipknot had like a certain appeal to it, like especially in the early days. It leaned into the nu metal thing, but it still had like that like they tried to preserve like the kind of aggression you would see in like death metal and like sort of other forms of extreme metal, even though like their stuff isn't really as technically good. Like you're like the fucking Spit It Out is not going to be like any fucking death metal fucking track like Dying Fetus or Death or fucking
right. It's not going to patch up to the classics in any way, but it's its own thing. Yeah.
Or Cannibal Corpse even. Like I'm not even really a big fan of Cannibal Corpse, but I can admit that dude got arrested. I'm not going to get into that rant because I will just.
That sounds like, to be fair, because I'm kind of avoiding mentioning a lot of personal stuff about the bands because I don't think anything illegal has happened, or anything grossly illegal, I should say. Like, I know the guy from a later band got arrested for having pot at one point, but there are, there's some personal things which I don't want to mention because they distract, certain political views that they may have. Where I think like, oh no, not him as well. See, I'm doing it myself. I'm talking about the stuff I don't want to talk about.
We're just getting into that ranty territory. But yeah, no, like, shit, what was I even talking about? Mushroom Head
You were saying, because Mushroom Head are more, if I understood you correctly, Mushroom Head is more technically proficient than Slipknot. Well, certainly at the time, anyway.
Well, I don't know if I would say technically proficient. I would say more experimental. Like you were saying this earlier, like they seem a little bit more experimental. And now that I listen to this song, I'm like, okay, yeah, I think I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, because I mean, just the mix of vocals is one thing, and I don't really know music arrangement, but it seems like a weird arrangement, like a weird fucking.
Oh yeah, it's all over the place, and like Slipknot stuff. Like takes a lot from like heavy music, but is very, very much verse, chorus, verse sort of format usually with a lot of this, especially a lot of popular songs. Like you listen to Duality, that's like, oh my god, like their newest one. What was it? From the Grey chapter, The Devil and I, and I'm not shitting on that has a particular personal meaning to the band, but that song, like if you took out like the like heavy guitars and replace it with more synth or more smooth sounding instruments, it would come off as a pop song to me because it's very it's laid out more like a pop song now, but like their older stuff isn't, but There's more structure in a Slipknot song than there is like Mushroom Head, I think.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because you're saying like it's not necessarily a bad thing, and I agree. Like, there's a reason why like popular structures have remained the way they are. Like, experimentation is great and cool as well, but there's a reason. Like, and honestly, I honestly only know about this because I watch too much Todd in the Shadows, but it keeps popping up the 3-chord pop structure. That just keeps popping up in a ton of songs, and it's annoying to people who know about it, but there's a reason why it keeps getting used. There's a reason bands default to the verse, chorus, so many lines in the chorus, so many lines in the verse, whatever.
And it could just be that, like, a band like Mushroom Head, like, you know, they experimented, but it just wasn't what a lot of people were looking for. Now, it was enough for them to get very popular.
Yeah, they did. They did have, and I believe still do have, a big set of fans.
Yeah, but like when it comes to a band like Slipknot, which is actually still selling albums really well, they have a very big fan base. It's kind of hard to compare the two. I mean, it's not.
Yeah,
like, this isn't
I think it's
like,
just the masks that why people are comparing them. Certainly, that's why I thought of comparing them. Apparently, it has led to spats. Apparently. Not quite a beef, but it's been mentioned by either band. Like, no, we were first.
I think that was more like publicity. Like,
oh god, yeah, it was definitely a cynical ploy at some point.
Yeah, I think at one point they were kind of neck and neck. Like, I don't know for sure. This is me talking out my ass, but like I think at one point they were kind of neck and neck, and they would kind of do the back and forth. Like, that was a big thing. Like, growing up, there's always like a band with drama with another band or some shit like that. And like, I never remember ever hearing anything other than, that we don't really like these dudes.
Yeah.
Why are you jacking our style? But
we were first. Yeah, it's bullshit.
And that's as much as I heard about it. But after that, like, I don't think, I honestly, unless I'm mistaken, like, I don't think Mushroom Head and Slipknot really have anything against each other. I don't think they're really.
I doubt they met in a car park somewhere. Like, it never got to that level where they had to like meet and settle it out. Once and for all, who was the first metal band with masks on? And then Guar shows up and kicks the shit out of all of them.
Fucking Odorous Uranus comes out the fucking grave and is like, fuck yeah.
Smash their heads together. You ungrateful little shits.
But let's get into like
let's seek from that a conversation.
I don't know how to explain the next band. I'm hitting things. I'm sorry.
No, the next band are definitely different. Because I'm trying to go from like I could have picked like, you know, a nice gentle, you know, gradient of bands, you know, go from soft to light, but I want to jump all over the place. I want to go from fucking Stained to Mushroom Head to fucking Coal Chamber, which is our next song, Logo by Coal Chamber. This is definitely different from both of our previous two.
Yeah.
These guys, or at least, because I'll be honest, I only really know this one song, because they suggested this one. And it's interesting. I do actually remember it now that I've heard it. I thought the chorus was saying Kyoto for some reason. I only just realised when I watched the video that was Loco. I know why. No,
Kyoto!
No, I'll tell you why. It's because when I first heard it, because I would have been really young, because this was 97 that this was released. And I heard it somewhere. I forget where. But it was around the time that there was like a fucking Kyoto Treaty being signed. I think it was about like environmental issues.
Okay, yeah.
So I thought it was linked to.
It was just like mental osmosis. It kind of just attached itself to that. Yeah.
The two things had nothing to fucking do with each other. But yes, Loco, both visually and musically, are very different. A lot of similarities, obviously, but Loco is a lot more. I shouldn't say bouncy. Bouncy's not a good word for metal, but it's a lot faster, a lot more in your face.
I would say this is like, okay, what's his name? We're probably gonna cut this out because I haven't.
No, this is staying in.
I forgot the dude's name. Des Fafara.
That's what it says here.
Yeah, Des Fafara. Like, I guess like the best way to put it is like I remember like listening to Cold Chamber, but I remember him going on to Devil Driver, which is like I saw them in '08. They were really good. I know I enjoy Devil Driver, and then like, but it's weird because if you look up Des Fafara, I don't feel comfortable saying his name because I feel like I'm fucking it up. But if you look at him like in Cold Chamber days, look at him in Loco, and then look at him now, and it's like a complete different person. And it's really weird for me to see that. Like, but that's like kind of, as we go through this, you're going to see that that's actually kind of, I guess, normal. I guess, aging. Like, I'm thinking these videos are like from 10 years ago. This video is over 20 years old.
See, yeah, that's the thing that trips me up as well. Like, I can't. Oh, okay, yeah, I've got a picture from 14, and I definitely see what you mean. Actually. Like, not just that he's got older in the standard way, he just looks like a different person.
Yeah, like, he looks like, in this video, he's, like, some dude with weird tattoos. He's got, like, the dreads and shit, and then he looks like a fucking, like, like a straight-up metalhead, like, the traditional metalhead. Yeah. But, yeah, let's...
Because he has, like... Yeah, let's just watch the video instead of... I should note... I only found this out because I've watched the video twice recently, like in preparation for this, but I found out looking up the facts. There's actually a special guest who you might not recognize. I'll see if anyone recognizes because I'm still not sure if it's the person they state it is. But yes, this is the video Loco by Cold Chamber. Enjoy.